Hey there, folks. This is Kyle coming to you with a special edition of my kind of unique tips or just things I've learned in using ClickFunnels 2.0. Over the past couple of weeks, I signed up for a free trial at Funnel Hacking Live 2022 in Orlando about 3 weeks ago now, through, of course, a special Russell Brunson offer. To get signed up, I think it's free for 30 days and will be $297 a month after that, although I don't necessarily think I need to stay at that level. I did a separate pricing video that you could check out in terms of at least what I know right now, but a little remains to be seen in terms of how that goes. I am a brand new ClickFunnels user. I have no experience with ClickFunnels 1.0, so if I say things that are like, oh yeah, that's obvious, that's the way it's always been done, then so be it. I don't really care. I'm just here to share some things, lessons I've learned, because it took me some digging and some back and forth with customer support. So I figure, well, maybe I'll just make a video and tell the internets what I know in case you have the same problem, because everybody obviously will Google it or check out on YouTube to find the answer to their problem instead of actually having to write to customer service people, because I get it. You don't want to have to wait for customers. You don't have to wait 24 hours or 48 hours or 3 weeks to hear from customer service. So you just want YouTube to answer your questions. And so that's why I'm here for you today. If you're having this problem or this question burning in your mind as you're sitting at friggin' 2 o'clock in the morning in your grandma's basement trying to figure out how the frick to set up my domains on my ClickFunnels account, here's some information. And if you don't like it, that's fine. I don't really care. But and by the way, this is not like a walkthrough. I'm not some big video producer guy. It's not some slick editing thing. This is just raw and real. What you see is what you get. And this is not like really a how-to video of how you do this stuff. So if that's what you're looking for, I don't know, look for somebody else. This is more just kind of some things that, again, are not obvious. Some things are obvious in terms of you adding a domain. This is not, hey, here's how to add your domain to your ClickFunnels 2.0 account. Because if you don't know how to do that, I mean, well, I don't know. Just get some help. Ask customer support. They can help you. Or they got some videos. The thing about the ClickFunnels, they do have like a learning center or whatever. I forget what they call it. And it does, it does have some videos of some guy, their customer service people talking about how you do certain things. But you search through there, because I've had searched through there several times to get answers to specific questions. And of course, I don't need to answer the question of like, how do I add a tag to my blog post? Well, you go to the box that says tags and you type in a word, and that's about the extent of this video. Great video that they put together. So they have like lots of those, like super simple, like, I mean, again, it doesn't take that much effort to just get into the tool and put some of this stuff together. But granted, I get it. They're trying to cater to everybody. So some people that they're selling their products to, I guess, have never touched a computer in their life. So you might have to go back to the basics for those folks. But in any case, let's talk about domains. First thing is the way ClickFunnels 2.0 is structured is all around having a core site. All right, so when you first sign up, and you name your workspace or whatever, they give you a domain, a subdomain of myclickfunnels.com, which mine here is called PhD Secrets. Let me see if I can make this a little bit bigger for the video here. Okay, so PhD Secrets is my workspace name. So phdsecrets.myclickfunnels.com is the one they give you for free. That's just part of the package. You don't actually have to have your own custom domain if you don't want it. You could build everything and you type in this, whatever this address is in your account, and you will see the site that you have created in ClickFunnels. And it's a public site and anybody can use it. And if that's all that's fine for your purposes, then you're good to go. But if somebody that's would prefer to have something a little less associated with myclickfunnels.com directly, you would probably be inclined to have your own custom domain. So far I have connected 5 different custom domains. I get all my domains through Cloudflare.com. That is the cheapest place on the internet to get it. Please don't pay GoDaddy any of the monies. But in any case, I did get these connected. I had some problems originally connecting them. Again, it's very easy, just hit connect existing domain, walk through the steps. It didn't actually work a couple times. I emailed customer support asking what the HELL, and they said just delete it and redo it about 3 times and it should eventually stick. So that is what I did, and eventually it stuck. It took a little time for things to propagate through, but basically their automated process is going through and communicating back to your domain provider and adding the DNS records that are necessary to connect it to your ClickFunnels account. And it's populating those DNS records automatically. So you actually have to give authorization for ClickFunnels to connect to your domain provider. So I just know the way it worked with Cloudflare. It could be different for different providers. I don't know. In any case, it eventually did work, and they do add some DNS records as shown here in my Cloudflare account for one of those domains. They're adding 3 primary records, CNAME record, and 2 text records, and just a bunch of whatever mumbo jumbo coding that is necessary to connect it back to, again, that core subdomain of your myclickfunnels.com account. The one that they did not input, which I found is actually necessary, again, in some troubleshooting with customer support, is to add a CNAME record that refers the www subdomain of your root domain back to the root domain itself. Which, again, if you already were using this domain for other purposes, probably you already have that record, because that's one that you generally always set up when you first are using that. But again, it was kind of interesting that, they say, hey, just follow. ClickFunnels is saying, hey, just follow our automated process. You don't have to do anything. We do all the back end stuff, except not exactly, because if you just bought a brand new domain, it wouldn't have any DNS records, and so you have to at least do something on your domain site. So that is one little interesting tidbit I learned in going through this. The other thing is, as I mentioned, so your whole account is built around having a core site, which I guess they call them like your funnel hub, but it's basically like, what's the main website for your company? So my company is phdsecrets.com. So that's where I'm kind of building out a main page. I'll show you that here real quick. Still working on it, but you set up header, you put some stuff in here, try to direct people to some of your funnels to join your stuff, and then you've got a footer, right? So it kind of looks like a generic website, right? phdsecrets.com, that's the core domain. Oh, and yes, I got a sweet pop-up there because I'm trying to get out of here. So that is your core site. You have to associate that with one of your domains, and only one. You only get one website. You only get one blog that is a part of that website. The customer center, if you have a membership site, again, one of those that ties back to that core site. And then when it gets to funnels, that's where, of course, you don't have limitations. You can make as many funnels as you want, and you can associate the funnels to different root domains, which I did do. I have a resume template funnel that I'm working on. So if you go here to the edit funnel, you can select what domain you want, what root domain you want to associate with that funnel. You cannot associate the funnel with only a root domain. You do have to have some slug here in your URL path. I did confirm that with customer support, because I originally just wanted to say, I want to build a funnel, connect it to one of my custom domains at the root domain. So again, somebody types in this case, the PhDresume.com, they see my funnel, which is just a lead gen site to download my thing. I get their email, right? You can't do that. It's got to be associated with a page, more or less, and and that's that. So then I asked the question, okay, well, that's fine. I mean, it's whatever. But I would still like it to be set up such that if somebody types in the phdresume.com, it would redirect to go to phdresume.com /resume template, whatever, the actual URL path. That is something you cannot do, because if you go digging around in, URL redirects, that should be where I do such a thing. The problem here is you can only do URL redirects around the root domain of your site, which again for me is phdSecrets.com. This is a non-option box here. That's a fixed value. So if I have phdSecrets.com / whatever, funnel123, and I wanted to redirect that to some other site entirely, maybe a YouTube site or something, or your social media post. That maybe be a good example. So at phdSecrets.com / Facebook, and so if somebody linked to that, it would take them to my Facebook page. You can do that here, and there's some other options you can do. I don't really care about that, but again, you cannot do a URL direct for any of your other custom domains aside from the one that you associate with your site. I've confirmed that. So the customer support guy who told me this said, you can't do it here in your ClickFunnels account, but you can do it back on your domain provider. You can set a redirect there, which yes, you can't set page rules in Cloudflare or whatever service you're using. The problem is I did try this, and again, I know enough about this internet stuff to be dangerous, but I'm not a guru by any means, and so I don't understand all the ins and outs of how everything works in the internets. But I did try to set up a rule, as I've done for some of my other sites pre-ClickFunnels, and it doesn't work. So you set up a rule here that says if somebody types the phdresume.com, it redirects them to my funnel link, which, as you see here, this URL is the one that's associated with my funnel that I want that root domain to go to. This does not work, and I'm pretty sure the reason it doesn't work is because you've already set up these DNS records that affiliate that root domain back to ClickFunnels, whatever this ClickFunnels code is that they automatically populate with, right? So that this sort of overrides these page rules is my guess. I could be totally wrong about that. I just know that it does not work, because get this. So if I type in the phdresume.com, boom, pulls up my main site. Now the root domain that shows in the URL path is still the phdresume.com, but it is only showing you my main site, which again is the same as phdSecrets.com. Boom, same page. I do not see the funnel as I tried to, again, get the URL redirect to work. Just to prove to you the funnel is different. Let's see, we can open a new window. Let's try that. Yeah, so again, this is my funnel that I had built, and this is at, that's not even the right URL, but I think it's resume. Yeah, resume-template is the URL. So again, this is my funnel, but if I just said, hey, somebody go to thephdresume.com to download your free resume template, the most amazing lead magnet ever in the whole history of the worlds, they won't get that. They'll get my root site. So I don't know what I'm going to do about it. Kind of breaks how I was planning to set up the overall structure of what I want to do, which, by the way, I more or less modeled what I want to do around some of the core ClickFunnels products, because as Russell says, you should just model what is already working for somebody else. So I know that Magnetic Marketing, Dan Kennedy's company, this is a site that is clearly built in ClickFunnels 2.0. I mean, I think Russell even said that at the conference because he wanted to be sure, it worked. And so a lot of how I built my site was built around this. And so how Magnetic Marketing works is they do have different root domains for some of their funnels, such as the nobsletter.com. That is the newsletter that is sort of the core continuity offering for Magnetic Marketing. So that's nobsletter.com/special offer 2. If I were to delete that, just say, hey, go to nobsletter.com, boom, it redirects there. So clearly they have set this up as a separate site, and then they were simply linking to this separate site from the Magnetic Marketing site. So when you click this is just a link to go to nobsletter.com, which is the funnel. So they have set it up on a separate site because that is the only way to get around this issue, is to create a second site entirely, which I think means you have to set up a entirely different workspace. Although I think maybe you can add sites here, but there's no option currently, in my view of things, to just add sites. And I know that it's going to cost more money, because if you look at the pricing video, it does say explicitly for basically all the membership levels right now, you only get one site. Again, unlimited funnels and all that jazz, but basically all your funnels are going to be tied back to either the root domain of your site, or you can use a custom site, but then you just have to live with the fact that that root domain of that custom site is going to tie back to your main website. And maybe that's fine for people. Maybe that's fine for me. I don't know. Hell, I'm just getting started here. So obviously I don't mean to sound like I'm just complaining and being a little bitch because things aren't going my way, even though I've not made a single red cent on the internet yet. But being an engineer, I guess, myself, I like to understand like how this stuff actually supposed to work together. And that's the thing. I don't care. It's not a big deal if I disagree with the way ClickFunnels has set something up. I just at least want to know how it is set up. And that's what was frustrating over the past several days as I was trying to figure some of these things out. Like, again, how do I get my different root domains connected to different funnels, and having to go back and forth with customer support when these should be like pretty obvious questions they just have on some FAQ, but they don't. And it's not in their brilliant learning center or whatever, which just has a bunch of videos talking about, if you want to create a blog post, click on blog and click new blog post. That's how you create a new blog post. Thank you and goodbye. Like, I don't even know why they would waste time making those kinds of videos or articles, because that's super simple. What else to say about this? So yeah, I guess I'm not sure what I'm going to do. The other thing is that the different membership levels, ClickFunnels 2.0, do limit the number of custom domains you can even add in your account, which for the version of it, which I guess is kind of the highest tier version that I am on a trial for, you can have like, I don't know, 9 or a dozen different custom sites, which is why it let me. I didn't even know that originally, but if I had one of the lower tier sites, I wouldn't even have been able to add all these. So again, I don't know how this like worked in ClickFunnels 1.0. I just noticed that in internet marketing land, it seems that most everybody uses their own custom domain for a single product or a single thing they're trying to sell, right? I mean, Russell Brunson probably has like 1,000 different domains for a million different ClickFunnels products that they've had offers for, that because it's just easy when you're advertising to say, hey, just go to onefunnelawaychallenge.com or whatever the thing is. So I just kind of assumed, being new to this whole field, that I just assumed that was the way it would have been set up, but it's not. Again, maybe this is something new in ClickFunnels 2.0, and you're getting pissed off now because you're just would prefer to stick with ClickFunnels 1.0. I don't know. I think for me, I guess I'll just go back to having my one, main site, root domain, phdsecrets.com, and just build all my funnels as, pages off of that root domain. I can keep, of course, my other custom domains in Cloudflare, and once I remove some of these records that were put in to connect them to ClickFunnels, once I remove these, then I know that the page rule that I talked about earlier, I know that will work. It's just that this will have to route from, say, the phdresume.com. If you type that in, that will reroute to www.phdSecrets.com / whatever the funnel page is, right? And just, again, it's a minor thing, but that just means if somebody were to go to that site, then they'll know that the root, even though it's a landing page, they'll know that the root of all that is phdSecrets.com, which, again, could be like a distraction that would entice them to start to click around there, when, again, the whole point of having a funnel is you need to keep them in the going down the right lane, so to speak, and keep the distractions to a minimum. So again, maybe this is just the way it's always been. It just didn't seem to make a lot of sense to me personally from how I would have thought it would have been set up. But yeah, so anyway, those are some lessons learned. Maybe this will all change. Maybe, again, since ClickFunnels is still kind of technically in a beta test in terms of 2.0, maybe there will be updates to change some of these, the way things work based on users' feedback. I kind of doubt it, because it seems like some of those are pretty core, built into how they structured the whole thing. But I guess we'll see. So I'm curious, if anybody that's actually watching this random video on the YouTubes has any particular insight, or maybe could even help me understand if this is the way it's kind of always been done within the ClickFunnels whole ecosystem. I'm curious to know. Again, I'm not going to waste my time to dig into ClickFunnels 1.0 and try to figure out if I can do it there, because I have already made the decision that since I'm starting a new business, why bother trying to get it started and launched on what is now an old platform. I might as well make use of the new platform. It does have a lot more capability and function than the old platform does, even though it has, again, some quirks about it from what I'm seeing. So I already made that decision. Don't tell me, just go to ClickFunnels 1.0 and you can do it the way you want, because I don't want to do that. So if that means I have to make some of these trade-offs, so be it. It's probably very minor in the grand scheme of things, granted. It's just a different flow of how I envision setting things up, and so that bothers me on a fundamental level when I can't do things the way I want to do it, when ClickFunnels, of course, brands themselves as being able to make it super easy for the user, and being able to make it, especially ClickFunnels 2.0, giving you all these different options so you can really customize things the way you exactly want it. But clearly you can't. There's obviously going to be limits to that. But anyway, feel free to leave a comment, reach out. I'll try to respond. This is a new channel here. If you're new, following along, I'm just getting started on this whole journey. Feel free to subscribe, like the channel, or like the video, I guess, so other people can see this. And let me know about what you think about ClickFunnels 2.0 and your experience with custom domains. Peace.